Just waiting for that to finish opening. All right, it's live. So let's go ahead and take off. I'm not going to record over here, of course, because of the simple fact there's no need to. Let me just do that. All right, so welcome back, everyone. Today is the 20th of January. This is the adult crypto class, and we're going to jump right in simply because of time restraints and whatnot. I do have a lot to cover. First, I want to touch on accounts. Now, accounts can be associated to crypto accounts, crypto wallets. It can be associated with the cold storage accounts. And it's also associated with the source of what you're putting away, putting up, using, what have you. Okay, it's very important that we keep in mind that all of what we do is an account, accountability, accountable. So these accounts are part of what you're going to use to, one, get financially secure. Now, I'm going to bring in conversation of Team Royal simply because today's call, even though it's a crypto class, financial literacy is everything. You can have all the crypto in the world, but if you don't know what to do with it, it's worthless. Yes, it will represent a bunch of numbers and this, you can go do that. But how do you actually keep it? How should you keep it? What is it the representation of? So over in Team Royal, the financial literacy product to which you will be involved with is going to give you a lot of pointers. Okay, it's going to give you services that you're going to participate in with crypto. Okay, so to say the least, I would like to just say this. Financial literacy is understanding finances at every level, not just getting it and spending it. There's so many more levels to it. There is security. Okay, now security is part of finances and crypto because everything that you're going to do when it comes to the source of what is coming into your wallet, which has its own set of security, and then moving it on to the bank, your bank. So let's refer to it as my bank. Has its own set of security. Financial security is having control of your finances. Okay? We have gone a very long time, most of us, all of our lives, dealing with banks of some sort or fashion. Credit union, regular bank, 401ks, CDs, trusts, estate trust. Those are all finances, instruments used within. Some of us have one account, some of us have many accounts in many institutions. How do you manage them all? How should you be managing them all? Financial literacy is part of your ability to set your own security. So what does that mean? It's just a bunch of big words, right? No, actually, it's not. Financial security should be your first priority. Where is it coming from? What are you doing with it? And where are you putting it? The where is it coming from would be your job. Let's say whatever job you're doing or whatever job you did. And now that you're retired, you have a income that's coming from the work that you put together or did over the course of years. It's still something coming in. So when you get it, what do you do with it? 9 times out of 10, most of us, especially at this time, it goes into the bank because they pretty much have everyone on direct deposit. Now watch this. Direct deposit means when your job gets to the end of the week, they do an ACH to your bank account. Now the bank charges them to do that. Where do they pull it from? You. Do you see it? Nope. You don't even know what happened. But they made an income off of you to have it put into your account. Now let's look at this for a second. You're paying to move your money to the bank. The bank tells you what you can do with it, when you can do it, and how much of it you do with it. All the while, they're using your money to make money, to lend off, to give to donate with your money. Once upon a time, you would get a paid check, the piece of paper. You would get a piece of paper and you would take it to the bank. Some of them still do it. You take it to the bank, you sign the back, you hand it to them with your license and your account, your card, debit card, and then they take that money and say, okay, Mr. Lewis, here's your receipt of your deposit. Do they charge you to do that? No. Do they charge you to put it to your account? Yes. The signature line on the back of a check, that's why they don't do it too much anymore, because people have caught on to it. Security. The line that you sign on the back of that check is a statement where you relinquish control of your finances and put it in the hands of the institution on the front. I'll say that again. That line that you think is a line that you're signing on is a statement that you autograph. It's a contract. Bet you didn't know that. You sign over, you relinquish to the institution on the front. So if the front says PNC, Chase, Wells Fargo, I don't care, any of those guys, whoever's name is on the front is who you're signing it over to. You relinquish control, which means you signed a contract stating that you're giving it to the bank and you'll stand outside. You no longer have security of those representations of money. You just signed it away. So they got you. You relinquish control. So who now is in control of your finances? The name on the front. They have it. That's why they trade it every night without telling you. without sharing with you, without your permission, because you signed it over. You gave it to them. Direct deposit's the same thing. You have to fill out a form signing your name, giving your employment or employer the ability to ACH send your finances to that institution that you just signed over to them. Nobody looks at it. Nobody thought about it. Nobody cares. I just need my paycheck. What do I have to sign? Sign right here. Okay. Give me my paycheck. Well, Mr. Lewis, you can use this card. Okay. Now we have turned your money that you turned in into a card. Now, before you get this card, I need you to sign this contract. More signing. Now, I'm going over this for a specific reason. Please pay attention. When you sign the documents that they put in front of you when you got your checking account, you sign for this. This comes with rules, regulations, securities, things of that nature. It's in that paperwork. If you don't believe me, if you kept it, go look at it. No one, and I do mean no one, that has a checking account at this date, unless they're completely anal, read that contract. One, it was done quickly in the office at the bank in front of the banker. You say, I want to open a bank account. Okay, come on, driver's license. They ask you a few questions. They're typing stuff, making the contract, typing it all up. It spits it out of the printer. Sign here, 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 and here, and then one more time right here. You sign, 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 and one more time here, sign. You hand it back. They have a completed contract. They make a copy of it. So they have signatures that you agreed for this company to handle your money. All of it. You signed the contract. They hand you your copy. They take the deposit of whatever, 50 bucks or whatever it is. They go over to the counter, put it into the account, do all this little that back and forth. They go over to the machine. They print out a debit card. While you're sitting there, did you read the contract? Because it usually takes about maybe 8-10 minutes, if that, from the time they walk away from the desk and put that deposit into your account and come back with a card. They hand you your card, Mr. Lewis, here you are, here's your card. You get the card, you look at it, all right, great, I got my checking account. You gather up your paperwork, your documents, the little folder, out the door. Ain't read a single word. This is why we are in this trouble. And I do mean very little people have read that contract. One, it's too much to read right in front of them. So we don't read it. And they bet on that. How do I know these things? Because I actually went upstairs, brought out the 9-page contract and read every word. You literally sign over your money for their use. And then when you deposit money, there's a fee every time you do it. And every time you use this somewhere, there's a fee. Now they're charging you to use your own money. There's a fee. There's a fee. There's a fee. And on top of that, they say, Mr. Lewis, you can make this many transactions with this card for this month and this month only. When you have reached the limit of transactions for this card, we turn it off. Wait. What do you mean you turn it off? Because you only have so many transactions. So pay attention to what you're buying or paying for. Huh? Did anybody catch that part? Were you listening when they said it? Or did they say it? And you had to find out later when you was at the store shopping, withdrawal, this, that, the other. You got to right to the end of your transactions, and you got to the store this one last time. You got groceries, and you put the thing through, and it says denied, declined. You put it through. I got my pen right. Let me put it through again. Declined. How do I know that? Because I did it. Financial literacy. If you don't read the contract, they can do whatever they want to you. They control your money. Whatever institution it is, I don't care which name it is, whoever it is, they are in control of your funds when you deposit. Why do you think there was litigation put together by Miss Clinton to make it illegal for you to claim certain things on your bank account, to do certain things with it? It's illegal. Why do you think they have control like that so they can turn it off when they feel like it? You ever been at the grocery store with the food that you need to eat for that week? You know you're good because you got, $600-700 in the bank. You know that's probably 2.5, 350, depends on where you shop. But you know you have enough in the account. You get up to the counter because you're at your limit of use. You put the card through, beep, decline. What? You ever been in that situation? Decline with a basket of food, or decline with something you need? It could be at the Walgreens getting your medication. But because you're using your debit card one time over the limit of use, it says declined until next month. What if you're in the 12th of the month and you need those foods or that medication or whatever it is? You might need to get your tire changed, but you can't because you don't have access to your money. You don't have access. Now I'm gonna have to close this card because I just showed the back of it. But anyway, my point is this. Financial literacy and security is up to you. It's all in how and what you do with it that will depict on how it's used. So a wallet account, this just happens to be WireX. Okay, it's a wallet that has a debit card. Okay, has a debit card. And yes, it has a limit of transactions. What's the limit? Unlimited. I can use it as many times as I want, providing I have the necessary funds on it to use it. This one, they control how many times I use it and what they do with what's in the balance. Security. Which one would you rather have? This one, that you can use whenever you feel like it, as many times as you feel like it. Or this one, where you're limited, they're in control of it, they can shut it off at will and tell you to go fly a kite. Which one? Financial literacy. You have to know who's in charge of the money, who's in charge of the finances, what limits are being set for you. Now, there's an alternative. And I did this like this on purpose so that I can take it to the next level of understanding. The next level of understanding is my bank. Okay? And my bank is a device that you have in your possession. This device is called cold storage. You see it in my hand. It is not an institution that you drive to and drive through the drive-in and ask permission to give away your money. It is not a institution that has all of these alternative motives to use your money against you. It is not a institution that is in charge of your finances and can tell you when, where, and how much you can use. It is not an institution at all. As you've just seen, it is a device. And where's the device? In my possession. That device is considered a bank if you know how to set it up. So let's go back, retract, and go from going to the bank to get one of these. What's the process? First, you get a job. You're going to need a source or some finances coming in. It's considered source. Then you're going to need a wallet. A wallet to put your check in back in the old days. And that was this wallet. Okay? You would take that check and you would go to the bank and you walk into the door and you go to the sit down and you say, well, I want to open a checking account. Okay, Mr. Lewis, our minimum deposit is $50. Do you have $50 today? Yes, I have my paycheck that I'm going to open my account with and deposit the rest into the account. Okay, Mr. Lewis, no problem. Have a seat. We'll get you all squared away. You go through that process. He takes the check that you signed and gave away. You signed away your ownership of your finances to that institution on the front, and you gave it to them. They do their little tap, tap, tappity tap. They get your license. They open the account. Sign here, 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 and here, and then one more time here. You're like, okay, great. They're going to cash my check, put in the $50, and then give me the rest, or put the whole thing in. Because they're going to ask you, do you want to just cash it and put in the $50 to open the account, or would you like to deposit the check? Most of us unknowingly would say, yeah, just go ahead and deposit this check, and then I'll bring one next week. Okay, Mr. Lewis, no problem. They're happy to hear that. So you sign over the check. They deposit it, give you this contract that you sign, and oh yeah, I had to sign one more time right here. And then they give you this piece of plastic. And they say, Mr. Lewis, here you go. Here's your card. You can use it as a check. Oh, okay, great. So what do? You set up a PIN, put it in again, and then one more time, please. Okay, great. Now the PIN is set. Whenever you go up to the counter, you put this thing up, it'll go beep, and you put in your PIN, and it'll pay for it. Oh, great. Anything else? No. They don't voluntarily say, oh, and by the way, you can only use it this many times a month. They didn't tell you that. You were supposed to read it in the contract that you signed within 8 minutes. When do you find out you have a limit on transactions? When you've met the limit and tried to use it again. And it said declined. Wait a minute, I'm depositing my checks. There's 2 checks in there. There's $1,200 in my account. But you used it too many times, Mr. Lewis. You can only use it this many times a month. Well, you didn't say that when I got the card. It was in the contract. This is the conversation that I personally had with my banker. That's how I know about this, because 90% of people that got one of these did not go through the contract and find out these things until you make the limit and couldn't purchase what you were trying to buy. Some of you are learning this for the first time. But thank God you learned it. So the scenario was to set that up. Now, let's go the opposite. Let's go the opposite. And the opposite is you're going to get a wallet with a debit card. I've sent out many emails with a list of all the wallets on the net, trying to pick ones that have a debit card associated with it. Why? Well, I'll explain in just a minute. Security. The security is when you have opened that account, you have set up your own private security for that account. The wallet. Remember, the first wallet was the one you put in your pocket and sit on and make your back hurt if it's too thick. Was this wallet. When you had paper checks. This wallet. This wallet is digital. Okay? This is the next evolution. Same as this one. But the difference between these two is the institution that they're connected to. This one, we know the institution is, well, you know, the insignia is PNC. So we already know. That's the institution. This one is WireX. This is a crypto and digital currency wallet. Digital. What's digital currency? Hold on, you'll find out. We know what crypto is. It deals with both. In a very short while, you're going to hear an announcement that the US dollar, which it already has one, so this is not new information. If you know about cryptos, you've heard USDT. That is the crypto representation of a dollar. So it already exists. It's not new. I'm not giving new information. But if you're not into crypto and you're just learning about it, it would be new to you. That will be considered digital currency. It is the representation of the US dollar, USDT. And then you have all the other cryptocurrencies, which are digital. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the rest. They work on this wallet, not this one. This one has its own security that you set up. This one has its own security that you have nothing to do with. This one you hold in your pocket and you do the same thing you do with this one, except for this one has a zero limitation. You can use it, use it, use it, use it, use it. Use it. If you know that rhythm, you know what movie I'm talking about. But this one has the ability to be unlimited. You can use it as many times as you have the funds to do so. Okay, hold on one second. I lost my screen. So you can use it as many times as you need to. And you don't have that scenario of signing over to an institution to tell you when, where, and how much you can use of it because it belongs to you. That wallet is on the blockchain. It should not keep a lot in it, but it is yours and you use it when you see fit to use it. There's one more step. Once you have established your wallet and you have it all set up and it has the debit card capabilities, which is the chip and the echo, you're all set. It can go shopping whenever you need to. It can use digital currency to do so. It can use crypto to do so. Whatever you put on it, it'll use. Now, we've already established the fact that we won't be called and say, you can't use it this month because you used it too many times. We've already established that you have the security set up on your card or your wallet. There's more than just this one. It's just the one I have right now. They're all the same. You set them up with your security. Once you have them set up and you can use it, now we need to do one more step. And what is that step? That step, my friends, is opening your bank. Say that to yourself, opening my bank. Did you ever think in a million years that you would be a bank owner? And you have to look at it and recognize what you're saying and say it to yourself again. Opening my bank. And you have to understand the responsibility and the security and the reason why we're doing this class. To understand cryptocurrency, to understand how to move it, to understand how to use it and remove yourself away from paper. When you open up your bank, you are in control of it. You own it. This is Montavo's bank. I'm the only one that uses it. I'm the owner of it. I know those keys. I have the keys to the bank, to the door. I open this bank when I need to use it. I open this bank when I need to move funds. I can open this bank at 3 o'clock in the morning if I feel like it and send $500,000. Did I have to ask anyone to do that? Do I have a limit on how many times I use my bank? Should you use it every day? No, of course not. You should treat it the same way you do these banks. The only difference is you own it. You make the calls. Your new debit card is linked to your bank, just like the other one. This debit card is linked to my account at that bank, at that institution. So you have to understand what that means. I am now a bank owner. What happens with that bank is my decision at whatever time I feel like it. I don't have to ask anyone. I don't have to report to anyone. It's digital. Do you have to pay taxes and all that? More than likely, yes. You're going to have to, do your part. It doesn't take you out of the normal ramifications of owning a bank. You're going to have, depends on what happens. What is the next evolution? Is the switch from paper to QFS going to have taxes involved? Then you follow those rules. But what we're not going to do after you have learned what you need to learn on this call or this sharing, whatever, there are people way more educated than myself. I'm speaking to you from the heart. I'm speaking to you from the evidence that I have in front of me. I'm speaking to you from being at the counter, trying to purchase my dinner, and the card say decline. Because that institution decided, no, you can't shop today. That is embarrassing to no limit. And knowing full well the money's in the account. Declined because you've gone over the limit of use. So you're limiting me to the use of my money? that you use every night and trade it and make massive amounts of money and don't even share with me? Yeah, that's exactly what they do. So having the understanding and doing what's required of you is part of learning crypto. Understanding the steps, the processes, and what you will do. First step, you have to have a source of where these funds are coming from. Second, you have to have a wallet to use. That's where you move the sources to. Once the source is on the wallet, you can go shopping, buy all the stuff you need, and at the end of that day, you move it to your bank. Okay, you move it to your bank. Did you have to ask anyone to move it to your bank? No. All you did was get the address off of your bank, put it in your wallet, send it from the wallet to that address. It's in your bank. You didn't have to ask nobody. You didn't have to sign anything. And if you sent $300, it'll be two something because, yes, even over here owning your own bank, there's still going to be fees. But I would gladly pay the fees to put it on my own bank where I control it versus paying the fees to send it over to their bank and be limited on my use of it. What about you? So understanding the process is real simple. You're going to have a source, whether it's retirement, whether it's job, whether it's whatever we're doing. You have to have a wallet to put it on. Those sources come down to the wallet. Okay? Once the sources are on the wallet, you go shopping. Whatever's left on the wallet, you send it over to the bank. Your bank. Say, my bank. I send it to my bank for safekeeping. I keep this in my fireproof, waterproof safe. I only bring out the wallet or the bank to do this call and or put my movement to it. Then I put it back into the safe. You own it. You have to take care of it. So the responsibility of this evolution falls squarely on your shoulders. There's no contracts to sign. There's no signatures required. But you do have to do KYC. Know your client. These guys are going to require that information. Whatever wallet you're using, it's not going to be this one. Whatever one you're using, you have to put up identification. Okay? You have to. There's no way around that. That's so that they know that you're who you are, whatever. Basel III, Basel IV are banking laws that require all banks to divulge transactions. Physical banks, brick and mortar, like these guys. They were told you have to show all transactions. And it would not surprise me that it'll go to these guys next. Now, is that 100% secure and safe? No. No. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, yeah, do this, do this, do this, put it on your bank, and you're good to go. What if the lights go out? These things work off of electric. They work off of power. They work off of the internet. What happens when the lights go out and the internet is gone? Anybody thought of that? Now you have to go back to a physical. Now, the whole reason for having this bank is that you are in control of what it does. Now, I just let on to you a little while ago with these guys. What do they do at the end of the night? They take your funds and go make money with it, right? And at the beginning of the day, 9 o'clock when the bank's open, they put it back on your account, and you know no more of the wiser of what happened last night with your portion of deposit. This is no different. The only difference is it's up to you what you use your bank to do. I personally suggest split 50-50. Leave 50% of what you have on it and go the other 50% in a precious metal, one or the other, or both. A little portion purchase, silver coins or silver unmarked, unminted coins with only the quantity of silver in it, 99.9, so that the end user knows what the percentage is, and put it in your fireproof, waterproof safe. Don't rely 100% on owning your own bank. Do the same thing they did. 50% stays here. The other 50% you put to work. Either purchase, precious metals, or purchase land, something that you can, use or sell for whatever's being used, or currency for what happens. So basically, I'm saying 50% is on your digital wallet, because if they pull the plugs, I don't care if you got 100% on here, it's not going to do you any good if the lights aren't on. You can't log into darkness or black. When you hit the power button, nothing's happened. If you look at your internet router and it's completely black, you click on the light switch and it's black, how much money can you get out? None. Okay, so don't think that what this class is about is everything you get, oh yeah, get it, put it on your wallet and then put it in here. No, that's not good training. That's not good teaching. Diversify. You ever heard of that? So much here, so much here, so much here, so much here. And each one of those things is bringing something back to me. Some land, put some people on it, they have to send you money. Some precious metals, you get it in coin form, so it's easy to use versus these big blocks that people want to buy. Don't do that. How are you going to get change? I mean, it's cool if you have millions, yeah, get a couple blocks. But that's not good sense to have it all in block form, and you got to go to the grocery store, whatever, or the fair, whatever pops up when everything goes dark, and go buy a chicken with a block of gold. One, you're going to get attacked. It's just not practical. So you get smaller version. Coin. 50% of your wealth should be a physical format of the going currency. Whatever is in play. Precious metals will never go away, but you get them in formats that you can use. Coin. Okay? So that's a good part of it. The last part that I want to cover is reading. And that was the point I made earlier with the bank account or the checking account. You got the contract set right down in front of you, but you didn't read it. You just signed it. Why would I say that? How do I know you did that? Because I did it myself. I didn't read that thing. I just knew I don't like banks. I never did. but you have to use them or you don't eat. And personally, as you can tell, I like to eat. So I'm going to use the bank. I'm going to use their services and their cards and be limited and told that, oh, just be okay, and let them, take advantage of me and my finances, use my finances to make money and not share it with me. I'm okay with that because I signed the contract. Don't feel mad. Don't be angry. We all did it. But we don't have to stay in that mindset. And that's what this class is about. Hopefully, by the end of it, which I would say maybe another month or two or less, all of this conversation will be pretty much in play. Could be sooner. I'm sure you've heard of the QFS. I'm sure you've heard of RV. I'm sure you've heard of redemption centers. Tier 1, 2, 3, 4. You've heard of these things. They're going to come into play very shortly. And it's up to you to be on the right side of that game. It's up to you to understand the moves and what you need to do to protect your finances. What you need to understand to start using. If you don't know what cryptocurrency is, look it up. If you don't know what blockchain is, look it up. Let YouTube explain it to you. All you have to do is put it in. Search blockchain. Play the video. They'll read it to you. They'll explain everything. If you don't like that one, click on the next video. What is the blockchain? If you ask the question, it'll give you a video to listen to. What is polymer notes? Polymer notes. That's a new term. These are considered linen notes. Linen notes. Okay? You're going to polymer, which will also have a digital representation. You need to know what these things are. Quantum financial system. Put it in YouTube. Let them explain it. If you don't want to hear it from me, if you think I'm telling a joke, or I didn't do a clear enough job explaining it, let someone else tell you. But at least go look at it. Okay? So, I would like to ask if there are any questions about what we're covering, and are you learning anything with this class?
Mr. Lewis, good afternoon. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going back to where you were talking about the signature on the back of the check. Would your print name do the trick, being that in order to deposit or a check needs something? What do you recommend?
Well, your phone was breaking, but I'm pretty much you were asking, what do I recommend to do? Until.
Okay, you can't have me. I'm passing through a bad spot.
Yes. You want to try again?
Okay. Can you hear me a little better now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were talking about the signature to the back of the check and what that means. And I already know what it means, but what do you recommend? Because you need something back there in order to deposit or cash a check. What do you recommend?
You continue doing it. I just want you to be aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't, there's nothing you can put on there that's going to change the fact that you're turning it over to them. You're turning it over to them. They use it at their will.
think if I print, that will fix that?
No, it's not going to change anything.
Not gonna, okay.
The only way that's going to get changed is we come out of that system. And me personally, I cannot wait to get out of the system.
I'm with you. Yeah.
That
Okay.
system is predatorial. It is one-sided, and actually, it's illegal.
Right.
But you say that to some people, and they look at you like, you know, where are you coming from?
Right.
That's because they haven't dived in to really understand it. They just say, it's my checking account. Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's just like what you were saying today early on the kids' call. I can't waste my time talking to people like that who don't want to know. There's people out there that don't want to know this stuff.
Right.
They enjoy being ignorant. So I leave it alone.
That's the best. That's the best policy.
Yeah.
You know, you can't help everyone. I do my best to love everybody, no matter what. And I choose to do certain things for the betterment and empowerment of those who may not know.
Right.
Now, I've seen some of the comments put on some of the calls that were recorded on YouTube. It's crazy. But I don't allow that to stop me from what I'm led to do.
Right.
If I know it, I'm going to share it, period. All right.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Montalvo.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say I'm very thankful for the knowledge which I've gotten from the Kids Corner and also the knowledge you give us here. Very, very appreciative. I don't know where I would have gotten it. I'm thankful. And well, I'm thankful to the I am that have stayed for all this time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Davos.
Yes, ma'am.
Piggyback it off what Miss Winnie was saying. Yes, I'm quite thankful too, and you was awesome on how you handled it. Really was. I really think you're missing your calling as being a teacher. I mean, school. Because I love how you talk to the kids. You don't. I like how you come down to their level and you don't judge them or nothing. You really talk to them, without, like I said, without putting any kind of judgments on them or make them feel uncomfortable or anything. I think you're just awesome. So I think you should really consider becoming a teacher.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Yeah, you should. But I do have another question. The wireless card. I know you mentioned about having diversification on the card with the crypto, which I know it does have. It does have different ways you can have the crypto on there. So when you use it, does the card know which currency to deduct the transaction from? Like say you have Bitcoin, things like that.
Yeah. Well, most, if not all of them that have the debit capability, that's the chip and the echo, and it's an actual card. You are in control. See, this is the part that I was getting at. You are in control of this debit card because you tell it which account to pull from whenever you go to the store and hit the thing and says beep. It says, okay, the settings are to pull from Bitcoin. So it'll pull from Bitcoin. You go to another store or whatever, you hit that thing that says beep, it's going to pull from Bitcoin account. You are in control of what account your card pulls from.
Okay, so it could be where in the settings you set a certain limit on each currency that you wanted to pull from. Like, so I was saying, like, say you have 5 different crypto on there: Ethereum, Bitcoin, all the other.
Right.
So that's what I was saying. So how would the card know which ones to pull it from? Does it pull like a certain amount from, like, say?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. In the settings, when you log in, let's say when you get your card, it may not be WireX, whatever card it is. When you go into the settings, let's say that you have 9 different cryptos on this debit card, or the ability to use 9 different ones, and you have the most of it in Bitcoin. You would select Bitcoin for any transactions from the chip or the Echo. You would just say pull from the Bitcoin account or balance, and it'll pull from there every time you shop.
Gotcha.
Until you go in the back office and say, okay, well, that was enough of that. I want to use Ethereum this week. So this is what I'm saying. You are in control. They are in control of what you use.
All right.
You are in control of this one. You tell it which account to pull from. You have full access to make those decisions on the fly.
All right. And I remember I used one time the card where well, just to let you know, like, I had some money in Ethereum and I had it transferred to become fiat. I don't know if you know, but they charge you for that.
Yes. This is the whole reason. I'm glad you said that. That's the whole reason for getting one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have Bitcoin or whatever in that account, it'll make the transaction and do all the exchange in the transaction while it's going beep. Split seconds we're talking about. It does the exchange and pay for the product. That's why so many people have Bitcoin and can't use it, because they're trying to pull it out into fiat, where, remember, these guys don't like crypto. They don't like any use of other than US dollar with them, so they can control how, when, and how much you can use. So they're not going to be willing to say, okay, you're going to exchange out $6,000 in Bitcoin. Now we have to give you 6,000 in your account. No, they ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
Even though they would still have control of that 6,000, because once you put it with them, they control it. So to keep you from exchanging it, they make it very, very difficult, and to put the fees as high as possible to deter you from doing that transaction. So this is where I come in my ideology and my training and teaching is to use a debit card that is a wallet already in the space of cryptocurrency that you can go to the store with and use just like theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, yeah, I was saying, like, when I had transferred Ethereum to the fiat, it was all within the card. So I can have it where I can do that and then go to the ATM and withdraw cash.
Mm-hmm. But they charge you.
They charge, yeah, they do charge, but it's
Yes.
not that. Fee's not that bad.
Okay. Well, everyone has. This is the whole thing about the knowledge. Okay. Now that you know that, you know you can go that route. You can do what you need to do by using 2 entities. But I'm trying to cut these out. I don't want these guys in the picture. I want to see this guy in the picture. I want to see this guy in the picture. Why? Because you own them outright. You make the decisions on how they're used as the way you see fit. These guys, get rid of both of them and say, you use this one, and I'll tell you when you can use it and how much of it you can use. And I'm going to charge you every time you use it. And I'm also going to tell you how to hold the balance. If you don't have a certain amount of balance, I'm going to charge you to keep it in my bank. You see what they do? Charge, 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 limit, limit, charge. They're taking your money from you. Small bites, small pieces, but if you multiply that times 10,000 people, let's just do the numbers. Let's do the numbers real quick. Let's say that you get a $2.50 charge to use it at an ATM that's not connected to them. That's $2.50.
Right.
They get 75 cents for every transaction you do. That's $3.25, right?
Yeah.
Or $3.50. No, $2.50 and 75 cents. That's $25. All right. Watch this. Let's say that hold on. Just for informational, $3.25 times, let's see, out of all the PNC banks, I would say there's probably 250,000 people. That's probably really, really small. Now, the fee that we're talking about is $3.25. Now, how many times do you use your debit card per day? Pick a number between 1 and 10.
5.
All right, so the original number is $3.25 times, let's just say 250,000 people. That's $812,500. Okay? That's what they just collected off of 250,000 people. And if they use it 5 times, that's times 5. Right?
Yes.
That's what they just made with $3.25 off of 250,000 people.
And that's being conservative, like you're saying. It's probably a lot more than that.
A lot more. So education and understanding finances, financial literacy is actually way more than just knowing how to use a trust, knowing how to, use this or that. You have to go all the way down to the simplest movement of money. The simplest movement of money. We're only talking about 250,000 people using a debit card 5 times in a day's period. Using an ATM machine that doesn't belong to the company, they get that $2.50 plus the 75-cent transaction for all the other stuff that you're out there buying. That's only one transaction. One transaction. Watch. One. Going to the ATM once, get the $2.50. Going to a store, listen, buying something and that 75 cents. Once. You do that 5 times in a day, times 250,000 people, you're talking $4 million PNC made off of you. Now,
Wild.
Okay, understanding the movement of money is financial literacy. So we want to switch that up. We want to go with a card that we own, that we establish. Hopefully that card has cash back. It should be a cash back. So when you use it, you get something back, like they're getting from you from every transaction you do. They get paid every time you use it. When you set up your own with cash back, you get paid every time you use it. Okay? There's a difference. Financial literacy. I'm definitely going to turn this card off. I showed the whole number. So again, you have to know which one you want to use. You want to use this one where you control it, or you want to use this one and they control you and your life. Okay? Any other questions?
Hi, Mataro.
Oh.
I wanted to just make one statement before I ask my question. I saw in an article about 2 weeks ago, and that what you're doing with us is awesome. And I think what's happening is the banks are now, they're getting ready to make a groundbreaking change up. They are now trying to get into the realm of having people to be able to pay for their bills and so forth using crypto, even if they have third party. Chase Bank is one that is lining up with that. So I wanted to just let you know you are right on target when it comes to this bank thing. And it's still going to benefit us, even if the banks do change over, and because they're trying to survive. They know that they're in trouble. So it's either get on the bandwagon or just get smoked, you know? So I saw that, and I wanted to thank you for sharing how that what you're teaching us and instilling in us is preparing us for the future. It's some major moves being made. What I wanted to ask you was, when it comes to the cards, the wallet cards, at the time of doing KYC, there's some questions that were asked when I was, doing my process, and it asked about the dollar amount that you possibly were going to be doing or the transaction. I think I put it, gave it increments in different increments, but I put 25,000 to 50,000. Okay, and I did that just not to raise any flags. All right. Now, when we start making large sums, I remember on our last Zoom, we were talking about not possibly, but going to be making $15,000 a day. That type of money being placed on the card itself, that will not trigger anything based on what I answered when I registered. Will it? Okay, so it'll be just only based on how much I move off the card, move to purchase things. Because would I have to go back into the card and change that increment if I was to start purchasing larger?
Yes.
Okay.
So beautiful questions. And I'm going to attack the first one, not attack it, but agree on it. The reason, now y'all pay attention, this is an important part. The reason why the banks are now trying to accept crypto is because of QFS is on the blockchain. The quantum financial system is a system that is registered on the blockchain, doing the transactions, doing the math, making sure everything is good. So the banks, after all the years of using us, stealing money, using your account, doing all this backdoor deals, is over. Basel III, Basel IV says, Mr. Banker, you have to show all transactions. You can't go off in the board of directors room, shut the door, and make all these crazy deals with your money. So they have to step up into the digital arena. In the digital arena, that means you have the capability of doing this and then this. They don't want this. Why don't they want this transaction or this ability? Because they're not in the picture. You see me holding up two things, right? You see a debit card that is a wallet. That means you can move things on and off of it, just like you do their card. But who owns it? They own it. They give you the use of it, but you use it as you see fit. Then you're putting it away on your bank. Hello. That's the giveaway. You own the bank. Did you see this card in that conversation I just had? Absolutely not. They don't want that. They want to stay here. Because the second you do this, put them down, pick up your own debit card, and open your own bank, you don't need them no more. And that's what they don't want. So they have to ease their way into this space to keep you from doing this. They don't want you to do this. Because when you do this, you are in control of your finances. Hands down, period. The only thing that stands in between you and your own bank is electricity, the use of internet. That's the only thing that stands in between you and yours. But it also stands in between you and theirs. Do you remember a while back, and I'm just going to show you how they do. A little while back, around 2022 or whatever, and they was talking about, there might be a tax on the United States. It might be the infrastructure. They were talking about the power grids. Remember that? That was just a little while ago. Why would they tear down the electricity? Why would they destroy the power units? You have to listen and read in between. If they get rid of electricity, guess what you can't do? But if they get rid of electricity, guess who else you can't do? So they had to rethink that one. Wait. We don't want to do that because if we turn off all the power, they can't use ours either. So that conversation kind of faded away. You notice that? No one else is talking about this bombing power station. No, that conversation went off to the side. They switched it back. Now watch how they use our psyche, if you allow. They switched it back to a new virus. All of a sudden, this COVID has come back and it's bigger this time. Put your mindset over here. You know what I said? You ain't slick. You messed up. You tried to threaten everybody with the loss of power, but you had to remember yours is on power too. See, but you have to be thinking. You have to pay attention to what's being said to you and how they tried to manipulate. That manipulation is over, sweethearts, because of a class like this, because of financial literacy. Wait till you get over there in Team Royal. That has changed. I don't know how many of you have been going to the calls, but they're now offering gold and silver. They're now going to offer many things that we don't have. Why do you think I partnered with them? Financial literacy is everything. I don't claim to know everything. I am not a licensed financial person. I will tell anybody that. But I pay attention. And I watch. I have gone through many scenarios with these people with different names, and every one of them had control of my finances and told me when, how much, and where I could spend it when I put it in their institution. All of them. including credit unions. I've heard people say, well, what about a credit union? We own it. Do you? Try to use that card more than the times that they said you can use it and see how much you own. The only one you own is this one. Period. Hands down. You own that. What you put on it, you're in control of. Like I said, the only thing that steps in between you and this is two things, actually. Power, internet, and your education on how to use it. That's this class. That's the videos. I don't claim to, I didn't make all those videos, but I shared them with you so you could do your own research. Listen to more than one person on a single subject. That's what I was telling the young ones this morning. You have to listen to a lot of different people to come up with your own understanding. Don't just pick one and say, well, he's right, he said this, he said that. What if I was wrong? What if I made a mistake? You're going the same route I'm going. No, don't do that. I'm just a stepping stone, not step on, but a stepping stone to a vast amount of information that's going to come out very shortly. Hopefully next week. What happens next week? When everything switches. There's a lot of people that don't believe in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of people that don't believe that you can be a bank owner. There's a lot of people that refuse to read. Refuse it. And it's not all the Black community either. Because I've heard that. Oh, it's just them Black folks. They don't like to read. Really? I do it every day. As much as I can, every day. So my whole point here is to get educated quickly. You don't have time now. Before, it was okay, kind of, you heard about Bitcoin every now and again. Oh, Bitcoin is $40,000. People that didn't know about Bitcoin is like, whatever. I don't care. What's a Bitcoin? I've had people ask me that. What's a Bitcoin? What? It's 2024. You don't know what Bitcoin is? No, what is it? It's like going on a cruise and asking, what's a life jacket? Are you kidding me? You're in the middle of the ocean. You don't know what a life jacket is? Where are they? When you go to the movies, do you find the exits? There's certain things you have to pay attention to. My queens, my ladies, when you go to the parking lot, do you actually look at where you're parked? Memorize it? Before you go in the store, I see women all the time. I sit in my car and just watch people. They're funny. People are funny. I watch the people come out of Walmart because I do shop there. Not for much longer, but I do shop there. And I see these ladies and some guys come out and start this. And then you see them do, this is the funniest one. Now, this is the most dangerous one too. What do? They hit the button. Beep, 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 trying to find the car. Now you're doing that. If you're hitting the unlock button, guess what you've just done? Set yourself up to be attacked. Let's say you're hitting the button, you're not paying attention, you're just trying to find your car, and both of them make the car beep. Let's say you unlock it, and there's a knucklehead close, and he's seen the car unlock, and it's later in the evening. You're just worried about trying to find the car. Let him in. He gets down in the back seat, covers himself. You finally find the car, tired, ready to get the stuff in there. You throw it in the back trunk or whatever. Get in the car, start it up. In the mirror with the hair. I've watched. Y'all funny. What are you fixing your hair for? You getting ready to go home. Unaware of surroundings. Pull off. This guy's gonna wait till you get to a red light somewhere, or even wait till you get home. Spring up. You're done. All because what? You didn't scan your surroundings. And I guarantee you some of you are probably laughing, but because you might be laughing because you did it. Hopefully, learning is being transmitted. If you found yourself in that situation, fix it. Scan your surroundings, see where you're at, make landmarks. Okay? When you approach the car, look all around the car. You know, you don't have to be a detective, but pay attention. Is there somebody standing? Don't unlock your car until you're on it, standing next to it. I know these things are great. These little things are, awesome. You can pop the trunk, you can do all that kind of stuff. That's great. Start it up. Now that will lock the door. But I've seen ladies just hold it in the air because they have no idea where the car is. So if they unlock it and somebody's next to it, they can just slip right on in. You would never know because you opened it trying to find the car. Just an observation. Any other questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have a curious question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said that not for long you're not shopping at Walmart. Why is that?
Because Walmart engages in a practice of slander. And that slander is when you go into Walmart, there's a camera in your face as you're walking up. The facial recognition has already happened before you get in the store. When you pull into the parking lot and you're driving past the door, it does a license plate registration capture. It does a picture of the vehicle that belongs to that license plate. So they have all of your identification before you get out of the car. Good. Now, once you go into the store and you get to shop and purchase the things, the whole time you're doing that, 1 second. In the middle of the conference call. I'll call you back.
The conference call.
Silly. While you're going through the store and purchasing things, there's cameras above. Or they see what you put in the cart. They see what you take out of the cart. Okay? You follow me, right? As you go through the store, they can trail you from wherever you went from the second you walk through the door. They see the items in your cart. Now, you get up to the register, and this happened early part of 21. Actually, the middle part, right after the COVID stuff was over with. They kind of introduced it right then, but still, the register itself has a camera on it. It is looking at you. There's a camera above each register that can detect what you take out of the cart, put in front of the scanner, put onto the counter to bag. It's watching every movement you do on multiple cameras, including the one that you're standing in front of that takes a picture of your face. It does a calculation off of what you scanned. All the records, all the proof. Your total comes up and you pay it. You put your information in and you push enter. Transaction complete. It spits out a receipt. You take the receipt. You bag up your stuff. Now they don't even give you bags. They make you buy the bag. More of that control crap. I just spent $300. I got to buy a bag too. You get done with this transaction. You go towards the door. Stop. Let me see your receipt. Go straight to hell. That's what I told the lady. I didn't mean to disrespect her, but I told her flat out, if you touch anything in my cart, I'm going to sue you. And no, I am not going to show you a receipt. I purchased everything I have. If you have disregard to that, let's take it up in court. And I keep walking. I have not been stopped yet. But I say the same thing every time. They know me at that Walmart. They don't even ask no more. I put an end to that. But everybody else just blindly, here's the receipt.
Yeah.
When you purchase something, now there's a difference between not scanning it and putting in the cart. That's different. Yes, you get them people because they're the ones that created this attack at the door in the first place. But once you purchase something, it belongs to you. That is your private property. The only time you have to prove purchase is if they are accusing you of stealing. You have to know the law. You have to know the understanding of standing on your square. And I tell them, do you want to challenge if I've stolen something? If so, we'll take it in litigation. I'm waiting for one to say yes. That's a $4 million lawsuit. I've already researched it. I dare one to say yes. I'm going to sue them. Times every Walmart in the country. I'm set up. I'm tired of being violated.
Yeah.
Many of us allow it to happen on a daily basis.
So what do you think the purpose of the video cameras is for? Above your head, through the store, before you get out the car? What's the purpose of that? Is there something behind that?
Yes, they want to know who's shopping. They see your car. They get a facial recognition on you in the car, believe it or not, unless you have tinted windows. But they know who's coming in the store. They see you before you get there. As you're walking up, next time you go to the store, the doors, look above the doors.
Yeah.
On the edge of the building up top where people don't, no one's really looking up there. On the corner of the door. That's why they put it on the corner, so they can get you from multiple directions to get the facial recognition. Once facial recognition kicks in, it's like doing this. Beep. Identity. Now, the cameras, all that, they're watching what you're doing in the store to verify that you're shopping and what you have picked up and put in your cart. They know already what you have in the cart. They watch with the camera on the register. Next time you go, you'll see it. You're starting to see your face on the register.
Yeah.
What is this? So it goes through all the beep, 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 beep. You're doing all this. They have a record of what you just scanned. It's internal. They already have that receipt before you walk out to the door. When you make payment and get a receipt of transaction, that's the end of their ownership of those products, unless you stole it.
Right.
Now, again, there was a string to make. You gotta understand how they do stuff. There was this whole thing about, there's people stealing and walking out of Walmart. They're taking stuff. Remember all that news?
Right.
They paid those people to do that. To set the mindset. Okay? They pay people to do certain things so that they can set parameters. I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you.
Right.
Check me if you want. You have to accuse me of stealing. And when you do, I'm going to tear you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they stop you at Walmart, decline to show receipt and then ask him, are you accusing me of theft? If so, we'll take it up in litigation and stand on it. Don't just... Everybody, stop giving them. Just stop it. Make them accuse.
What would you say about if they're scanning faces from in the car? Do they scan when an active shooter is coming in?
They know exactly.
Not see that?
Yes, they know exactly who it is. Wow. But see, what's the other thing you have to remember in this country, there are no consequences of action. There are no consequences of action.
Hmm.
That's why you can go right up, not saying, but there's people that have gone and shot. They get maybe a year, 6 months,
Mhm.
and they're right back out. Some of them don't even get time. They just, pay a big bond or whatever.
Yeah, check, make sure those GCF fans will be bringing palm trees. He said, no, there's not allowed none of that. Who said?
Okay, if you're not speaking directly to me, please mute. Anyway, there's zero consequences for actions. You have to be very careful. And that zero consequences goes both ways. If you decide to accuse me of stealing, I'm going to sue you, period.
Right.
And if I have a receipt for everything in that cart, I will win. It's defamation of character. It's false accusation.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many charges that they violate at that door is crazy.
Right.
But if you don't know that, you just hand over the receipt.
Right. I have done that.
We all have. I got tired of it. I used to hand it over, just used to irk the hell out of me. I just spent $300 over there, and you're asking for a receipt? No.
Right.
No. That's over. So I stopped that about a year ago. They know me at that Walmart.
Yeah.
Recognition. They know what I'm going to say to that when I get to that door. They don't even ask.
I always thought that the accent of the receipt was about, like, if I have a big roll of toilet paper or paper towel, something that can't fit in a bag. That's what I thought it was about. So that's why I just gave it freely.
They're doing that to see, did you actually make the transaction at the counter? Are you putting things in the cart that you didn't pay for? Not that they can actually scan that receipt and see what you have in that cart. It's a violation of your rights. It's a violation and accusation of theft before they can prove it. Don't ask me for a receipt.
Have you ever shopped at Sam's Club?
I tell anyone who asks for a receipt from me, I tell them the same thing.
Do the same
Oh, absolutely. 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 I've yet to get one to say, yes, I'm accusing you of theft. Because they know what that is. That's a lawsuit. They don't want no parts of that. Trust me.
Okay. Learn something today.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.